So the saying goes that you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but the truth is you can't be too old to play real-time strategy games. And today we're taking out the latest installment in the Halo franchise called Halo Wars 2. Gareth Woods, of course, on the console, which is something that I think a lot of gamers might be... Yeah, like you're either going to be on one side of the fence. You're going to love it or you're going to hate it, because real-time strategy games has usually been reserved for PCs, right?
Yeah, 100%. So
and now it's on
normally
console.
these sort of games are easier played with a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
And Halo Wars is pretty much one of the first to have done it right on the console. Obviously, as you can imagine, you don't have as many buttons as you do on a PC. And so it's a little bit difficult if not done properly, but they've done a really good job of making it pretty user-friendly.
Yeah, yeah. Especially for somebody who might be playing it for the very first time. I remember playing in the days of, like, Commando. And how long ago was that game? So give us a bit of a background on Halo as a franchise and where it's come from.
So Halo is traditionally an FPS, first-person shooter.
Yeah.
And so it's the kind of the world of the Spartans and the Covenant and all these terms that you may or may not know if you played the games before. But now this is more of kind of like a global scale. So you're actually fighting full battles rather than just one Spartan Marine in his suit taking on the world. You've got your entire army that you kind of command, and you've got different tactics in that. You can use different kind of units you can build to try and take out your enemy forces.
Yeah.
Here we've got this little skirmish group. We've got some kind of vehicle guys, some rocket launcher dudes, and some grenadiers. We're taking out some...
Grenadiers, I like this.
It's a fancy word for guys who throw grenades.
I was just looking at this and thinking, this is a very brave move from the developers, not only in taking the game to a different platform, being console, and then kind of changing up the entire gameplay style. It's like, how do you take FIFA from the way that we're used to playing it, and now...
If you had first-person FIFA, for example,
it very changes the game completely, the focus and the way that you approach it. Do you think this is a wise move?
Well, I mean, this is Halo Wars 2, so they did a great job in the first one. It was pretty much, I know it's one of the few RTS on console, but pretty much hands down the best console RTS around. What's interesting with this latest one is that there's actually cross-play with PC. So you can, for example, pause the game right now, take my save game to my PC and play there if I want. So if you're on the move on your laptop, you can play there. When you're back at home, comfy on the couch, play on your console. And yeah, you can switch between the two. Pretty much the same game. You don't use any of your experience or play-by that you've done so far.
Okay, fantastic. So at the end of the day, ultimately, who do you think this game has been made or developed for?
Obviously, if you're a fan of the Halo's franchise, man, I should have paid more attention. My force is getting decimated.
I got one man and
so
he's nearly gone.
Let's run off, guys. Yeah, look, if you're a fan of the Halo's franchise, I think the story has kind of compelled you for so many years, and you want to know what kind of happens next in the story, because they will do a good job of trying to keep the story flowing and the kind of canon of the story intact. And otherwise, if you're an RTS fan, it might be something that, there's been a bit of a dirge lately in terms of new RTSs coming out, so this might fill the gap for a while until another one of the big guys comes out. But at the moment, I think since StarCraft 2, there haven't really been any big RTSs out, so this will fill that gap.
Do you think we'll see a lot more bravery from developers? I mean, would they turn a game like, for instance, Counter-Strike into an RTS?
Sure, who knows? I think what's been great this year, 2017, I actually mentioned so on Twitter, was just so far been a year of big gambles paying off. So, I mean, we've seen developers try brand new things with a lot of new games, new IPs, and taking old IPs into new directions. And it's been paying off. The fans have kind of voted with their wallets, they're buying the games, they're giving good ratings. So I hope it's a trend that follows, that we're not going to see the same game, version 7, for the same game over and over. Actually seeing new games, or at least existing franchises going new directions. And I think things like Halo Wars, we've seen other games do it successfully this year so far. Hopefully see more of that.
Awesome stuff, Gareth. Thank you so much. Gareth Woods, of course, always bringing us the latest in the gaming world. If you've played the game yourself, join us on Facebook and on Twitter and let us know what your thoughts are. And of course, for the latest in gaming, stick with us on Expresso Show.